Hello, Girl Scouts, and welcome to episode 51 of Girl Talk Weekly. I'm Julia, your host for today's episode. Unfortunately, Heather couldn't be here with us today, but she'll be popping in later to give us the newest and latest of the council news. Girl Talk Weekly is GSSJC's Facebook and YouTube vlog series created by Girl Scouts for Girl Scouts. And if you're not a Girl Scout, no worries. This vlog will give you a little sneak peek into what Girl Scouting is all about. In today's episode, in honor of Pride Month and celebrating the LGBTQ community, we have a special presentation in store from a Girl Scout of our very own who will start a GSSJC Gay Straight Alliance. She'll be talking through a brief history of Pride celebrations and will give us some insight on what Pride means. But before we get into that, as I said earlier, we'll be checking in with Heather to see what news items and dates are coming up for Girl Scouts in our council. Let's take it over to Heather.
Thank you, Julia. And hey, Girl Scouts. I'm sorry I couldn't join you for the rest of the episode, but I am more than happy to bring you the latest news from our council, so let's jump right in. First up, this announcement goes out to all of our older girls. Seniors, cadets, and ambassadors, I'm talking to you. Our partners at the Home Depot Foundation have recently launched their newest initiative that aims to bring trades training opportunities to our Girl Scouts. Be on the lookout for more news about these programs coming up in our council. Following that, Girl Scouts who are interested in a destinations trip, listen up. Girl Scouts of Greater Atlanta next summer, you can learn about the young people who led the civil rights movement in the South in their journey to justice destination for summer 2022. Explore how our justice heroes started a national movement for diversity, equality, and inclusion in the South, and work with your Girl Scout sisters to learn how teens continue to answer the call for justice through grassroots organizing and bold action. This trip is open for Girl Scouts in grades 10 through 12. For more information, be sure to visit the URL in the video description. And that's all the news items that we have this week. So be sure to show your pride this June as we celebrate and honor the LGBTQ plus community. Plus, I hear Julia has a special guest lined up for us in the moment. So let's check back in with Julia and let's see what's next. See you later, Girl Scouts.
Thanks for the news items today, Heather. Next up, we'll be joined in by Girl Scout Liv as she shares us some information on what Pride is and the history of the LGBTQ community in honor of Pride Month. Girl Scout Liv is no stranger to Girl Talk Weekly. She has joined us before in the past to help discuss her Gay Straight Alliance at Council. So without further ado, let's toss things over to the Girl Scout Liv for a brief presentation of the history of Pride.
Hi guys, my name is Liv and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about Pride Month. Pride Month is celebrated every June and it's time for queer people to get together and celebrate all of the amazing progress that has happened in the past couple of decades and queer joy in general. Pride originally, while today it's usually marked by parades, music, concerts, great big fun celebrations, the first ever Pride in June of 1969 was in fact a riot. Let me explain. So in 1969, after years of persecution and unequal treatment by the law, during a raid at the famous Stonewall Inn in New York, the Stonewall Inn was a very prominent gay bar, the queer people who were being arrested by the NYPD during this raid decided to fight back. So what started first as riots in the next couple of days became widespread demonstrations in New York City. Eventually, those demonstrations spread, and all of the people who were together were arguing for human rights. They were arguing to be treated the same under the law as straight and cis people. And now, in 1970, 1 year after the first Pride demonstrations, Pride Month was officially celebrated for the first time. And in that year, since 1969, hundreds of organizations had been formed. People had started writing newspapers. It had entered into the mainstream. Gay rights were no longer just a little, like a side fringe pipe dream that a portion of the population dreamed up. It was becoming something major. It was becoming something that actually was picking up speed. Now, since then, Pride has become a really fun, as I said, Pride is a really fun, incredible celebration. But it's really important for us to remember when we go to those parades, when we see the concerts, when we see all those fabulous drag queens in their beautiful costumes, it's important to remember that Pride started as a demonstration for civil rights. Pride was inspired by the civil rights movement, and Pride should continue to inspire us to try to make the world better. So my favorite way to celebrate Pride is, I like going to the parade with my friends, I love watching fun movies, but it's also really important, something that I try to do, is think about the issues that queer people, especially trans people, still face today. Sign petitions, reach out to friends, email your representatives, call your representatives, write to your representatives. Because the true meaning of Pride, the reason why Pride even happened, was because people got fed up enough to change the world. And that is something that I think Girl Scouts has always taught me to do. You have to be the change you want to see in the world. Major leaders of the prominent leaders of the first Pride, of the Stonewall riots, and of just the gay rights movement for a very long time, were Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera. And I would recommend looking them up, doing some research. They were both homeless, trans women, gender nonconforming, women of color, and they did some incredible work. I would look up Star. There's a great documentary on Netflix that you can watch if you want more information. So celebrate Pride. Go do something fun. Make a rainbow flag, make rainbow cookies, but also make an effort to educate yourself on the history of Pride and how we can continue the legacy of the activists who fought back that first day in June of 1969.
Thanks, Liv. What an insightful presentation. I must say, personally, I did know some of this historical facts, but I'm interested in learning more, and I will look into the Netflix documentary she mentioned. And now, Girl Scouts and viewers, it's time to ask, what's going on, San Jacinto? A segment where we can take a look at Girl Scouts and our councils, what they're up to, from highest awards to troop outings and to trips and everything in between. We'll be seeing what Girl Scouts are doing. First up, this submission is from Girl Scout Arthi. She just recently completed her Silver Award by building and installing a butterfly garden and memory care center in her community. Her garden included a variety of nectar plants to attract different types of butterflies. She also created a flyer to inform visitors of all the types of butterflies they find and more information on the plants in the garden. Way to go! And this next submission comes from the Girl Scout Troop 157056, who completed their Bronze Award. These 9 Girl Scouts planted a memorial pollinator garden in their elementary school. And get this, the garden was dedicated to the healthcare workers who gave up their lives during COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, what a heartwarming project. Way to go, Girl Scouts. What an awesome project. If you or your Girl Scout troop want to be featured in next week, What's Going On, San Jacinto? Be sure to send in a photo or video of what you're up to the email address below. We can't wait to see what you are doing in our council. And with that, we are just coming to a wrap with today's episode. Stay tuned next week for episode 52 of Girl Talk Weekly. In the meantime, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, Girl Scouts and viewers, I'm Julia, yours in Girl Scouting. Bye!